So, we were just chatting a little bit over here, but let me tell you that even before you arrived, so many of them, so many of the people would come to the side and be like, hey, listen, if Shilpa is coming, can you please ask her to sing this song? So we're going to come to that. A little later, we're going to come to that. But that being said, let me quickly deep dive into the questions that are on my mind, on many of our minds. When we think about songs, okay, there are songs that do very well. Then there are singers that do very well. And then there are movies that do phenomenally well. If I actually draw a Venn diagram of all of this, you are at the center of it. You literally are at the center of it. And this is not just to do with the recent movie, it's also got to do with movies right from the start, like, when you sang To Se Naina, for Anwar, or for that matter, even the recent song, Besharam Rang for Pathan. So the big question is, we all got to witness your journey through your songs. What was your journey like into the world of music?
Well, as a complete outsider who's not had any, insight into all of this, the only thing that you aspire to is work with a lot of legends that you've, heard growing up. But when you start working with them, it's not about the work. It's not about the thrill of working with them, but there's so much to learn as a human being. Because I think there are two versions of conversations we do on a daily basis. If there's someone higher above, you have a very subservient way of talking and being very polite and everything. And there's someone who's below you and probably you're brash. But to have this sense of dialogue where you treat everyone the same, I think that is a learning which I sort of picked on. So even working with Yashji, it was an honor working on his last project, and working with Rahman Sahab, or working with Gulzar Sahab, or working with Ilayaraja sir, or Balki for that matter. The only thing that you can see is that these people never stop working hard. They treat it as if it's their first project. And you're looking at someone who's your grandfather's age, and he's really trying to make the song better and better with every line. And you feel, I have not even started yet. So it really inspires you to be a better human being first. I think, I think like Gulzar Sahab, I had met him for the first time, and the only thing he said, "Beta, likho, ye gana hai, pehla line ye hai, pehla dusra line ye hai." So I think to have that, sense of dialogue where you treat each other with that respect, no matter whoever it is, I think that's the biggest learning for me. Yeah.
I think that's a wonderful takeaway, because at the end it's all about that human interaction, music or not, how you interact, whether it's with your juniors or with your superiors. That's a beautiful learning. And that being said, all of us, whenever we get to hear your songs, whenever we get to hear you sing, we know that there's been a lot of riyaz that's been done. There's been that joy that you've experienced with music. But if you could probably let us also know, and I know Wikipedia does not give me this information, so I'd love to know it from you. How did the journey start? And most importantly, because we're talking about disruptors here, why did you choose this journey in the field of music?
So I grew up in a household where my parents were, they were listening to Begum Akhtar ji, they were listening to Prabhat Ray ji, they were listening to Farida Khanam ji. So I had a plethora of female vocalists, so to speak. I grew up with these kind of voices. So one thing I admire about both my parents is that they said you need to have your voice, your own voice, literally and metaphorically. So when you sing something, it should stand for something. So I mean, of course, the whole world keeps saying, okay, we're used to that sweet voice and it's supposed to be like that. But I feel everyone in this room, everyone has their own voice, and that's why everyone's sitting where they're sitting, and that's why we're having a great weekend with some lovely people here, and learning about their lives. It only happens when you have your own voice, and as a vocalist, it's so easy to look into someone's soul, because when you hear them, they might not be in front of you, but you can clearly look into their soul. That's what it does. So I think that's how when the entire world said, no, you can't be a singer with that voice. But my parents said, no, it's okay. You do what you have to do. And when I moved to Bombay, the one thing that Bombay screams out loud is that you will be respected for your work. It doesn't matter you've come in an auto or the metro or you've come using a chopper or something. They don't care. The only thing that they are bothered about is what you can do for that project. And I seriously, I love that about Bombay, and I still call it Bombay, but then yeah, that's what I now keep telling girls and women, whoever want to be vocalists, please have your voice. It's so important to have your voice, and that will, when you're gone, people will remember that because they'll remember what your voice made them feel. So I think that's something which I really focus on.
I think you said that beautifully because, when you remember someone, like suppose if somebody says Shilpa Rao, I'll obviously remember you with that voice. The same happens with our friends as well. Now, that being said, ladies and gentlemen and everyone, and I'm sure all of you are already aware that she's also a Grammy-nominated artist. So firstly, can we have a special round of applause for that wonderful, wonderful feat?
Thank you guys.
I want to know how did that happen and a little more if you could just quickly share.
How did that happen? So if you want to make friends with artists, do a collab. That's one way we just, for one song you need at least 5-6 dinners, lunches, at least. So you sit, you eat a lot, you talk a lot, and then you start playing each other's music. So Anushka and I, we were just hanging out in London one of my trips, and we did all of that, and I was leaving and she was like, we should do a song together. I said, yeah, cool. And I love this about her because probably she sensed it in me that I don't like working on emails with a song. It's nice to be in a room and, okay, tell me what you want to do with the song. Okay, it's like literally on paper and the mic and we put down a song, and that's how we built that album. It was all women on the album. I don't know, we didn't plan on it, but it just turned out to be that. The writer was a female artist, the players on it, the mixing engineer, everyone, even the album art was done by Azima, and she was wonderful. So yeah, I mean, I think it was the first year of COVID, 2020, December. And it was like this random story from Mercury Records that this has been nominated for the Grammys, and we're like, no, can't be. And then we went to the website, it was, and we just called each other up 12:30 night. Okay, we've made it there, and yeah. But again, it just dawns upon you, oh damn, I have to work harder. Yeah.
How beautiful. As Oogway in Kung Fu Panda says, there are no accidents, So it's all about, sometimes we plan out a lot of things, but like you mentioned, a lot of things that it was like an unplanned decision, right? Like you just shared.
I think more than the plans, I think your intention matters. From day one, what is your purpose of doing something? Are you doing this because you want that Grammy, or are you actually having fun in the studio? Because most of the time what happens is, you have a commercial hit, but you're not very happy with it. It's important to have fun because I know we all have, our numbers and report cards and all of that. But then if you've not been happy, because this is one profession that you have, you better be in love with it. If you're not in love with it, then I don't think it makes any sense going day after day into it. Yeah.
All right, so that brings me, in fact, to my final question, because like I had mentioned, there's also the finale bit. While this entire session, the DisruptX, was about understanding different stories, or for that matter, journeys from all the people across industries who have disrupted the industry, I think what is that one learning? We know so much about you through media, through your songs, but if there is that one learning that you want to share with all of us, a learning that really makes sense. One I almost gathered from the previous question. If you want to work, just go ahead and collab with an artist for that matter. But that one learning that you'd like to share with us.
I don't know anything. That is the only one thing I know. I don't know anything. Even when I'm sitting here and I was listening to your disruptors coming in and speaking about their lives. The one thing that I do is be present wherever I am. Have an open mind. Don't have a presumption about things. And, be there, listen to it, experience it, and then do what you have to do. But it's important to be there and not live in the past or the future. That's one thing I do. That's the only thing I do. And like I said, go into something that, as if it's your first day at work, and yeah, do it as if this is the last project you'll ever do. Probably, yeah. I don't know. I don't know whether it makes sense, but then
I think that makes an absolute amount
that's
of
all.
sense about saying being present and most importantly being open-minded, being open to experiences. So I'm going to be absolutely present and soak in all that's on people's minds, and I'm going to put up a request to Shilpa to please sing and sing for us the track that we're all eagerly looking forward to, which is Besharam Rang. Before she does that, can we have a round of applause for all the fans over here, all the admirers rather, and with that, over to you, Shilpa.
Do we have any singers in the house? Okay, we have one. Okay, you guys can sing along, right? Huh? Anji? No, just point the mics. Yeah. I think we'll have a crowd effect going on. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, you would be surprised, but this song's genesis was a ghazal actually. So yeah, here we go. पहला लाइन क्या था? हमें तो लूट लिया. Okay, here we go. हमें तो लूट लिया मिलके इश्क वालों ने, बहुत ही तंग किया अब तक इन ख्यालों ने, नशा चढ़ा जो शरीफी का उतार फेंका है, बेशरम रंग कहाँ देखा दुनिया वालों ने. Will you sing with me? हमें तो लूट लिया मिलके इश्क वालों ने, बहुत ही तंग किया अब तक इन ख्यालों ने, नशा चढ़ा जो शरीफी का उतार फेंका है, बेशरम रंग कहाँ देखा दुनिया वालों ने, दुनिया वालों ने, दुनिया वालों ने. Thank you so much. Please clap for yourselves. Whatever you sang was beautiful. Seriously. Thank you so much. Thank you. One more. We'll do something that I think आप लोग सब इस गाने को जानते हैं. आप क्या every Indian on the planet knows this song. साथ में गाएंगे ना? पक्की बात? Okay, here we go. हाय मर जाएंगे हम तो लुट जाएंगे, ऐसी बातें किया ना करो, आज जाने की जिद ना करो, आज जाने की जिद ना करो, यूं ही पहलू में बैठे रहो, यूं ही पहलू में बैठे रहो, आज जाने
की जिद ना करो,
आज जाने की जिद ना करो.
थैंक यू.
आज जाने की जिद ना karo. I think we'll just end up getting more requests. But I know you're pressed for time, so I don't want to hold you back. But
No, not a problem. Not a
Not-
problem. Yeah. Yes.
yes,
You want to sing? This room is like, blasting with
someone
confidence.
record
Yeah.
this?
Please make some noise. Your name?
Jaideep.
Yanip, come on. Okay, sit. Why don't you sit down? Yeah. Okay. Should we go? Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. सजदे में यूं ही झुकता हूँ तुम पे ही आके रुकता हूँ क्या ये सबको होता है हमको क्या लेना है सबसे तुमसे ही सब बातें अब से बन गए हो तुम मेरी दुआ
खुदा जाने के मैं फिदा हूँ खुदा जाने मैं मिट गया खुदा जाने ये क्यों हुआ है कि बन गए हो तुम मेरे खुदा
This is so good, man. Will you come with all duets with me?
Thank you.
Huh?
I'll be privileged.
हाँ? चलो ये बहुत सही हो गया यार को सिंगर मिल गया मेरे को bring it in but thank you so much guys